Really looking forward to the Golovkin versus Gennady Jacobs fight coming up this Saturday night. And I think it's going to be a very, very good fight. I, for one, am really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a very close fight, a good fight. Tailor the tape. Golovkin is very powerful, we all know that, but so is his opponent, Daniel Jacobs. Daniel Jacobs has 32 fights, he's got 29 KOs, I think is a KO ratio of like 90%, so you can't disregard this man or write this man off. I think he's a good fighter, he's a very powerful puncher, and he's got more than a puncher's chance going into this fight. He has the reach advantage and he has the height advantage, so naturally when somebody has the height advantage and the reach advantage, they're going to try and box on the outside. So I think that's the approach that Jacobs is going to take against Gennady Golovkin. I think he's going to look to keep him away at bay with the jab and, land, those powerful straight shots, because he's also a very good power puncher as well. And we all know what Gennady Golovkin's like. He's going to be coming forward, he's going to look to counter, he's going to look to cut off the ring, he's going to look to trap you, push you against the ropes, push you in the corners and try to counter punch you and hurt you and knock you out. So I think Gennady Golovkin will be looking to come forward, while Jacobs, aware of his punching power, will want to sort of keep him at bay. But both of these guys are very tough power punchers, and I think it's going to be a good fight. I think there was a lot of hype surrounding David Lemieux before he fought Gennady Golovkin, and he was a KO puncher, a powerful puncher, and we saw that this weekend when he had a sensational knockout win. But you have to rate Gennady Golovkin for nullifying him and not allowing him to get his power punches off, and he boxed him very well and he was able to neutralize him. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that about Gennady Golovkin. I think they believe that he's not a good boxer, and they think that he's just a power puncher and that he's got issues with his defense and so on and so forth. But I don't believe that for a second. I think that for a man who won a silver medal in the Olympics, I believe, and who has had over 350 amateur fights and won all but two, you can't say that someone like that is not a good boxer, so you can't underestimate him. The thing is, not every successful amateur makes a good professional. We've seen that many times, but in my opinion, the majority of the time, if you've got a very good amateur resume, then the likelihood is you can carry that over into the pro game, and I think that's what Gennady Golovkin has done. So I think he can box. I think there's not many people in the middleweight division that are as good as Daniel Jacobs. So I think, all but two or three, I'd say, if that. So you can't underestimate Daniel Jacobs. This is the man who beat bone cancer not too long ago. So he's not going to fear Gennady Golovkin. But one thing I will say, I was watching the 24/7 episode, and it was quite funny because Daniel Jacobs had his friend doing a telephone running commentary of the fight Gennady Golovkin had with Kell Brook, and his friend was saying, "Oh, Brook hit him with an uppercut. Oh, he hit him with an overhand right," and he was getting really excited. And he said himself, "Look, if Gennady Golovkin allows me to hit him with them kind of shots, the fight will have a different outcome." And he really actually gets a lot of confidence going into this fight, seeing the Kell Brook versus Gennady Golovkin fight and seeing how Golovkin was, getting caught with shots. And even like Chris Eubank Jr. said the same. He was like, I've seen chinks in his armor, I've seen chinks in his defense, and I'm able to expose that. Exactly the same thing that Daniel Jacobs is saying, to his peril, because I don't believe for a second that Gennady Golovkin is vulnerable defensively. I think he is actually quite good defensively. He does say, he wants to make a good drama show. He does say he likes to take shots to make it an exciting fight for his opponents. And I agree with that, When he fought Kell Brook, he's not going to adapt or use the same approach in the Jacobs fight as he did against Kell Brook. You have to remember that Kell Brook moved up 2 weight divisions to fight Gennady Golovkin, and Golovkin didn't have any respect for his power, so naturally he's going to walk him through, he's going to walk him down, he's going to stalk him, and he's looking for the KO. So he's not going to adopt that approach against Jacobs, because he knows that Jacobs is a good puncher, and he knows that he's strong and he's a skillful boxer. So I don't think that he should take he's not relying on that as a be all and end all, but I think he does take a lot of confidence from Gennady Golovkin's last fight against Kell Brook, and I think he shouldn't do that, because I think he is a very good defensive counter puncher, is Gennady Golovkin, and I think he shouldn't underestimate him. So I think it's going to be a very good fight. My money is on Gennady Golovkin to get the win. I think that he is going to be too strong. The reason I say that is because Daniel Jacobs had a loss in 2010 against Pirog, where he was knocked out in the fifth round, and it doesn't necessarily mean that because he's got knocked out in a fight 7 years ago that he's got a weak chin, or he's going to get knocked out again. But I think that things like that play a factor, and I think that with somebody like Gennady Golovkin's power, it's very possible that, because he's been knocked out before, if he gets clipped with a very good shot, he may go down again. And he's been hurt and knocked down before, has Jacob. So will he be able to take the power, Golovkin's power, if it goes into the later part of the fight? Because also Jacobs is a guy that can fight, should really be fighting at super middleweight. So will weight be an issue? Will he tire towards the later part of the fight? Will he feel drained? And when the fight goes into the later rounds, will he be able to take Gennady Golovkin's onslaught? So these are things that you also have to take into consideration. But you cannot write off Daniel Jacobs. I think that there's not that many people in the middleweight division that are better than him. Maybe a couple fighters, as I said before, not that many. So this is definitely the biggest test for Jacobs, but it will also be an interesting test for Gennady Golovkin. My money is on Golovkin. I think he's gonna win the fight, late stoppage. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a subscriber to Box Nation, so I'm going to watch it on Box Nation. And as I say, my money's on Golovkin. But thanks for listening.